Hello, it's a new test for the second level. Check yourself and I will explain the most difficult points. Read carefully and choose the right answer. Let's check. Беспокойство, it means anxiety, but not always we can use this kind of translation. The common phrase is «Извиняюсь за беспокойство». Извиняюсь за беспокойство. Извиняюсь за беспокойство. So here, беспокойство, it's the act when somebody bothers you. Извиняюсь за беспокойство. This meaning we will use in this sentence. От, у, and без. Those three common prepositions are used for genitive. Genitive case quite complicated case. Usually, most common again, usages means from. It's something about ownership and it's about quantity. Also, don't forget that absence, none, no, it's also genitive case. For example, of course you remember его машина, his car. Yes, it's not genitive case, but it's just the beginning of genitive case. Remember I said ownership. That's why when we talk about the owner, he has a car, we use у него есть машина. Now it's a genitive case. If you compare the first sentence, его машина, and у него есть машина, actually they are the same. You put preposition у just to show that this next somebody is the owner. Я иду от него. I go from him. So it's the meaning of from. Я не могу без него. Without him, absence. All of them, they are genitive case. Why we put n? Because if we have preposition and he, she, and they form, we'll have n after any prepositions. У него, от него, без него. Under b, we have к нему. К, it's a preposition, right? But what we need to remember, к, it's always about to go, to move to this person, or to move and to reach actually some place. К, always dative. It's quite complicated actually, because usually students forget about к and the dative case. I will give you different examples. You use dative with motions mostly. Подъезжать к заправке. Look, подъезжать, prefix под, is usually used with dative. Подойти к девушке. Он подошел к коллегам. Everywhere you will have pod. Not always it can be only walking or driving to this place or to this person. Of course, it would be mostly она подошла к нему, motion. But there also can be a match that something goes well or goes to this thing beautifully. Они подходят к платью. Those earrings, they matches this dress. Они подходят к платью. You have something one and the second one wants to go to the first one. There is a motion or the idea of the motion. You use k all the time and it's dative. Let's go back. One more. Exceptional. Эта работа подходит мне. Yes, it means that work comes with me, comes to me. It matches, it suits me. And here you are not going to have k. The idea is the same as it was with the earrings and the dress. But here no k, just learn it. But again, if your brother came to you, you will have k. Мой брат подошел ко мне. Перед. Do you remember when we use перед and with which case? For example, in в we have перед ним. Перед or с in the meaning of plus. It's always instrumental case. Don't forget, quite common mistake, when we talk about tools. Everything about tools, we don't have prepositions. Never. In English, yes, you have with, preposition with. I eat with a fork, but not in Russian. Я ем пасту вилкой. Fork is a spoon, but you don't have any with preposition. А суп ложкой. Again, tool, a spoon, but no with. Be careful. Извиняться за. If we go back to our question. Извиняться за. Please learn it. Preposition за here would be with following accusative case. And let's check. Надо извиниться перед ним за беспокойство. We need to apologize in front of him, standing in front of him, for disturbing him, for bothering him. Let's discuss and let's check. Let's look at the adjectives and their endings. The first one is over. It's a very specific ending. Usually students just forget about this ending, but I think it's one of those that easy to recognize. It's a special one, whether it's over or yever. And it's about genitive case, male or neutral gender, singular, for pronouns or adjectives. Be careful. Again, students usually don't remember about neutral gender because, of course, we use less neutral nouns than male. Here we have пение, singing, and пение is neutral. So we need to focus not on male, but neutral gender. У него, от него, у моего любимого брата есть машина. Look at those endings. First we have an adjective, любимого. It's over because it's an adjective. But it's у моего. Not over, but его. It's possessive adjective. It's not just a right adjective. It's possessive adjective. That's why the endings are a little bit different from the original over. The same with pronouns. You have от него, у него. Adjectives, they will mostly have over endings, and all the rest, pronouns and possessive adjectives, they have его. So you don't need to learn something new. Everything is already here. Another ending, also quite typical and very extraordinary. It's omo or yemo. Maybe you already recognize this ending for the adjectives and pronouns. It's dative case, again for male and neutral. Я иду к нему. Я отправил письмо моему любимому брату. And the same situation, if we look at любимому, it's omo, but моему it's ему because it's not the adjective, it's possessive adjective, so a little bit different. And к нему, again, pronoun, different from the adjectives. Be careful, I am not talking about special spelling after k, g, h, or any sh, zh, sh things. It's not about spelling issues that we have with some adjectives. We just talk about common situations. If we go to another one, it's oye. And oye, of course, it's neutral because only oye ending can have neutral adjectives for nominative or accusative case. Ое о ее. Это мое любимое молоко. Я пью мое любимое молоко утром. The problem with ое and ее that o and ye can go to you from time to time. Unfortunately for foreigners, this rule can be very unstable. So just be aware of such situations and if you meet them, learn. And ending. Or im ending for instrumental case, male, neutral, and again pronouns and adjectives. С ним я занимаюсь моим любимым делом. Любимым, typical ending, but моим, им, not because again, pronoun are a little bit different from adjectives, but still it's the same ending. Let's go back to our sentence. Я наслаждалась. What to put? There are several verbs after which we definitely need to use instrumental case without any reasons. And it's like collocation. We need to learn them. For example, with genitive, with accusative, with prepositional case, and mostly with the rest, we don't have such situations. For example, for some reason, if you go through all the common usages of the cases, but you can't find any explanation, any features that can help you to understand what case to use. For example, here, what I enjoy, what accusative, genitive, I enjoy with what, or no, you just want to put something, but maybe there is no certain situations that will help you to realize, to be sure that this case is right. In such situations, it's usually instrumental. In 90%, it would be instrumental case. Without no reason, you have it. Of course, you can create your own false explanation. I enjoy the situation with the help of this wonderful singing. Can be, if it helps you, why not? Really, I always try to explain students that they need to create their own explanation only for themselves. Maybe it can be wrong according to some Russian meanings or grammar, but if it help you to remember something, to understand the grammar, it's okay. So we know that after наслаждаться we need to put instrumental case. We already know that instrumental case is here. Я наслаждалась прекрасным пением артиста. Okay, let's check. First, let me remind you of instrumental case. Instrumental case, one of the usages of it, it's when you have one person that equals another kind of person. What does it mean? For example, instead of equal mark here, we will use был or была. Now I guess you recognize instrumental case. Она была врачом. Why I put equal sign here? Because she was a doctor, she equaled a doctor, or she equals doctor, but in the past. Really, she was a doctor, and doctor and she was the same person. But when you put something between this and this person, you will have instrumental case. Usually in books we learn 6 or 7 certain ways to have this equal sign. It's был or была, it's будет, or one of the most typical, it's работать, as он работает врачом. He equals a doctor, but according to some documents, because he works as a doctor. But you can't learn all of them, so you actually need to understand the idea. And the idea is that you have somebody in nominative case. And according to the past or the future, or some documents, or somebody's point of view, or any other things, this first person equals the second. The idea is this. We will go back to this, but first, интересному собеседнику. Look at the endings. Do you recognize the case? It's dative. We already talked about this. Omo, for the adjectives is dative. One more, интересный собеседник. Definitely nominative or accusative. We don't change the endings for a male, adjective and noun. And one more, интересного собеседника. As I said before, over, it's very unique ending for genitive. Okay, so now we know that actually it's instrumental case when we have this kind of situation. Dative, those two words, those two, it's whether nominative or accusative, and over and are, it means genitive case. If we go back to our sentence, он показался мне, he seemed to me, whom? It means that he equals this kind of interesting person to talk with, according to my opinion. So the idea is that he, according to me only, is a good person to talk with. And this situation with показался, I will use instrumental. Он показался мне интересным собеседником. Now the situation is different. We'll talk about this strange word разбирается. There is брать or взять root. Root брать means to take. Here I put imperfective form and perfective. Брать, взять. Мой брат всегда берет мои игрушки. Сегодня он опять взял мою машинку. But with our разбирается we also have prefix раз or раз. It means to spread. You already saw this prefix with several words. Рассказывать, you spread your story. Раскрывать, to open wide the door or the window. Разговаривать, again, you talk and spread your words. And if we put them together, it would be разбирать or разобрать. When you put something and put it apart. На столе лежали разные документы. Мне надо было их разобрать. So I wanted to sort them out, to take one and put it in different place. Maybe to the right, to the left, or in the middle, in front of me, behind me, and you spread them around you. You sort them out. But we need разбираться or разобраться. It can be to be an expert or to figure something out. For example, я разобрался с этой проблемой. I figured out this problem. Разобрался. In perfective form, разобраться means to figure something out, to solve maybe a problem. But here we have разбирается, imperfective. And in imperfective aspect, it will mean to figure out the issue in the field, to be an expert in the field. So if I want to choose from those four options, the right one would be в математике, in the field of math. Мой брат хорошо разбирается в математике. Think about in what you an expert. В чем вы разбираетесь? Now you know all the engines, so I help you to recall them. And let's talk about not engines now, but about preposition the, because usually students just have some mistakes with this the. The first the we meet usually, it's about behind, and we use instrumental case with it. But be careful, not each the means behind, and not with each the preposition you will use instrumental case. It should be location. Где мяч? You need the location of this ball. So if you use preposition the and the meaning of location, it would be instrumental case. Both of them, the meaning, the translation, and the idea of location should be together. In this situation, it would be instrumental. Где мяч? Он за диваном. As I already said, not always за it's instrumental case. Mostly it's accusative case. For example, сделать за, and then you use time or you use money. You need or you have to or you can do something in exchange of time or money. Он вымыл мою машину за 1 час. Or он вымыл мою машину за 200 рублей. Another one – купить or продать. За will be used with imperfective and perfective aspect. Here I used only perfective. Купить, продать за, and then you will use money, amount. Мы купили машину за большие деньги. It's not a number, but it's amount, big money. Купил машину за большие деньги. За you put just only to the price, not to the car. And one more. By the way, it's also about some buying, selling things. Заплатить за. And then you have the item. By the way, заплатить, perfective form, and за. You have them together, right? So it can be easy to remember that заплатить would be with preposition за. Сколько ты заплатил за эту машину? Now we know that we have two different за. And why here it would be this, г. Of course, you already know that it would be за, г form, as I talked about preposition за. Всю неделю Ольга ухаживала, take care, or she cared. Think about this. It's Olga and she. Think about this as she was behind this person. So Olga ухаживала за, she was behind, not paying, not selling, not any other things, not doing something for money or for time. Nope. She was behind. And она ухаживала за больной сестрой. Try to remember most common usages of за. In instrumental case, it's quite easy, but with some situations, as with ухаживать, it's also за, also behind, but not so clear why it's instrumental. So you need to think about the appropriate situation, appropriate explanation for yourself, as I talked before.